Let's look at a race between two investors. It's gonna feel rigged, but that's the point. Investor A is you. You are in the trenches. You're skipping the $7 lattes, you're driving the beater car, and you're clawing your way to saving $10,000 a year. You are sweating for every dollar. To hit your first $100,000, it takes you 7.8 years. That is nearly a decade of discipline, self-denial, and grind. Now look at Investor B. They already have a portfolio of $600,000. They decide to stop saving. They don't contribute a single penny from their paycheck. They go on vacation. They sleep in. In roughly 2.3 years, their account grows from $600,000 to $700,000, purely on average market returns. Investor A worked for 8 years to build $100K. Investor B waited 27 months to get the same $100K while doing absolutely nothing. This is the cruelty of the math, but it's also the secret. Charlie Munger, the late legend of Berkshire Hathaway, famously called the first $100,000 a bitch. He said, "I don't care what you have to do. If it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on $100,000. Why? Because the moment you cross that threshold, you stop fighting gravity, and gravity starts working for you. Let's talk about why the beginning feels so impossible. It's not just in your head, it's in the physics. Imagine your financial life is a massive 100-ton freight train sitting dead still on the tracks. Your job is to move it. You tie a rope to the front bumper, dig your heels into the gravel, and pull. You are screaming. Your veins are popping. You pull for a year. That's your first year of investing, and the wheels barely squeak. You check your account, expecting a reward, and you realize you've moved the train 3 inches. This is static friction. In physics, the energy required to get a stationary object moving is significantly higher than the energy required to keep it moving. During this phase, the 0 to 100K phase, you are the engine. Roughly 80 to 90% of your net worth growth comes from your labor. The market returns? They're irrelevant. If you have $5,000 invested and the market rips up 20%, a historic year, you made $1,000. That's not wealth. That's a new set of tires. This is where the average trap gets you. You see headlines saying the average 401k balance is $148,000 and you feel behind. But that number is skewed by 60-year-old executives. The median balance for people under 35 is less than $40,000. If you are struggling to get the wheels turning, you aren't failing. You are overcoming the physics of a cold start. Since the math is fighting you, you cannot rely on passive investing yet. You need to brute force the train into motion. We need to generate escape velocity. Here is the 4-step strategy to break the 100K wall. Step 1, the gap strategy. Stop obsessing over returns. In the early days, your savings rate is mathematically more powerful than your investment return. If you have $10,000 invested, spending 3 hours researching stocks to get an extra 2% return earns you $200. If you spend those 3 hours picking up a freelance shift or cutting a subscription, you could save $200 this week. Until you hit 6 figures, your habits are the lever, not the market. Step 2, the wealth audit. Ignore the average. The average person is broke. Instead, look at the multiplier. Data from wealth researchers suggests that to be on track for independence, you should aim for a net worth equal to your annual income by age 30, and roughly 2 times your income by age 35. If you earn $70,000, that first $70K is your survival metric. Treat hitting that number like a financial emergency. Step 3, cut the anchors. You cannot push a heavy train if the emergency brake is on. High-interest debt is the brake. If you are paying 22% interest on a credit card while trying to earn 8% in the stock market, you are mathematically punching yourself in the face.
You are shoveling coal into a furnace with a hole in the bottom. Clear the track. Kill the high-interest debt before you expect momentum. Step 4. The allocation fuel. You can't save your way to wealth in a savings account. You need equities. Many people are scared of the market, so they hoard cash. But cash has negative drag due to inflation. To get the train moving, you need exposure to assets that compound. You have to accept the volatility. The train will shake on the tracks. That's the price of speed. So, when does it get easier? Let's go back to the train. You've been pulling for 7 years. You hit $100,000. Suddenly, the wheels break loose. The train is rolling at 5 miles per hour. You can feel the momentum. The math proves this acceleration. 0 to 100K takes 7.8 years.
Takes 5.1 years. 200K to 300K takes 3.7 years. 900K to 1 million takes 1.5 years. Do you see the curve? The first 100K takes longer than the last 300K combined. Once you pass that barrier, you start to shift from being the engine to being the passenger. But there is a danger zone. It happens right around $500,000 or $600,000. You've been grinding for a decade. The train is finally moving fast. A good market year earns you more money than your actual job. You feel rich. You think, well, I made it. So you upgrade your lifestyle. You buy the bigger house. You lease the luxury car. In physics terms, you just added drag. You loaded heavy cargo onto the train right as it was hitting top speed. This is lifestyle creep. If you keep your expenses low for just 3 or 4 years after the train starts rolling, you hit absolute freedom. And finally, the hardest part, the part nobody talks about. If you spend 15 years defining yourself as the grinder, the saver, the person who sacrifices, who are you when the war's won? We see people hit $2 million, enough to retire forever, and they panic. They keep working jobs they hate. Why? Because they are addicted to the struggle. They don't know how to be the passenger. The ultimate goal isn't just a number in a spreadsheet. It's building a life where you are comfortable with peace. If you are at 0, or 10,000 or 50,000 right now, listen to me. You are in the hardest phase. It is supposed to hurt. It is supposed to feel slow. You are overcoming static friction. But do not compare your Chapter 1 to someone else's Chapter 10.
Which phase of the train are you in right now? Are you still pulling with all your might, or have the wheels started to loosen? Let me know in the comments. Keep pulling, because once that train starts moving, nothing can stop it. Thanks for watching. Check your savings rate, grease the wheels, and I'll see you in the next one.